Hi, Elon Musk. People know and call me X.
Welcome, I'm Mark Zuckerberg. People know me the name of Meta.
Before we start, do you ever stop and think about how much of the future is being decided by people like us right now?
All the time. And what worries me isn't the technology, it's whether we're thinking deeply enough about the consequences. That's why this conversation matters. Elon, do you think technology is moving faster than human wisdom?
Yes. And that gap might be the most dangerous thing we've ever created.
Then let's talk honestly.
That's why we need to talk. All right, I'll start. I'm Elon Musk. I was born in 1,971 inches, Pretoria, South Africa. I've worked on companies like SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, and a few others. My focus has always been on technology that can shape the long-term future of humanity.
And I'm Mark Zuckerberg. I was born in 1,984 inches, White Plains, New York. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Meta, formerly Facebook. My work has been centered around building platforms that connect people across the world.
It's interesting, Mark, because we both work in technology, but our childhood environments were very different. Growing up in South Africa wasn't exactly a tech hub. I spent a lot of time reading books, thinking about physics, science fiction, and the future. What was your early environment like?
For me, it was pretty suburban. My parents supported my interest in computers early. I started programming when I was a kid, mostly just for fun. I liked building things and seeing how people reacted to them. Did you feel isolated growing up?
Yeah, quite a bit. I was more introverted, spent a lot of time inside my head. That isolation probably pushed me toward big abstract questions like where humanity is going and how we survive long term. Was your motivation similar, or was it more social?
It was more social. I was curious about how people interact, how information flows. Even early on, I was thinking about how software could change relationships. That curiosity eventually led to Facebook. When did you decide to leave South Africa?
I left as soon as I realistically could. I moved to Canada first, then to the United States. I felt the US was the best place to work on ambitious technology. The access to capital, talent, and risk-taking culture mattered. Did you ever think about leaving the US?
Not really. Most of the tech ecosystem I needed was already there. Harvard, Silicon Valley, it all felt connected. But I didn't originally plan to build a massive company. It was just a project. Did you plan SpaceX from the start, or did it evolve?
It evolved, but the goal was always big. I wasn't thinking, I want to start a company. I was thinking, if we don't become a multi-planet species, that's a problem. The company was just a vehicle to solve that. Did Facebook feel like a responsibility early on?
At first, no. It felt like a tool. But once millions, then billions, started using it, the responsibility became unavoidable. You realize your decisions affect society at scale. I imagine you felt something similar when Tesla and SpaceX started growing.
Definitely. Once your technology affects energy systems, transportation, or space infrastructure, the consequences are massive. Mistakes become very expensive financially and socially. How did you handle that pressure early on?
It took time. I had to learn leadership while running a company that was already global. That's not something you're prepared for at 19. Did you feel prepared for leadership?
Not really. I learned through failure. Almost everything I've done involved being close to failure at some point. Tesla nearly went bankrupt. SpaceX nearly failed multiple launches. That pressure forces you to adapt quickly.
That's something people don't always see, the failures behind the success. From the outside, it looks smooth. Internally, it's chaotic. Do you think those early struggles shaped how you think today?
Absolutely. They made me more realistic about risk and more focused on fundamentals. When you're close to failure, you learn what actually matters. Did building Facebook change how you see people?
Yes. It made me realize how powerful connection is and how fragile it can be. Technology amplifies human behavior, both good and bad. That realization pushed me toward thinking about responsibility, governance, and long-term impact.
That's where our paths overlap. Whether it's social platforms or rockets, the question becomes, what kind of future are we creating, and are we thinking far enough ahead?
Exactly. Different tools, but similar questions. I think that's why conversations like this matter, because people see the surface, but not the thinking underneath.
And hopefully they start asking better questions about the future too.
Elon, you mentioned earlier that companies were just vehicles for solving problems. What was the first moment you realized this is actually becoming big?
I think it was PayPal. Back then, online payments weren't obvious or trusted. When we saw real adoption happening, I realized technology could genuinely reshape daily life. But even then, I didn't feel comfortable. I kept thinking about what problem I should tackle next. What about you? When did Facebook start feeling real?
Honestly, when people outside Harvard started using it, that's when it stopped being a college project. Suddenly, people I didn't know were relying on it to communicate. That was exciting, but also intimidating. Did selling PayPal give you confidence or pressure?
Both. Financially, it gave me freedom, but mentally, it increased pressure. I invested most of that money into SpaceX and Tesla. People thought that was irrational. Looking back, it was risky but meaningful. Did you feel pressure once Facebook started growing fast?
Definitely. Growth was faster than our understanding of impact. Decisions we made in weeks affected millions. I had to learn leadership while running a global platform. That's not something you can study for. How did people react when you started SpaceX?
A lot of skepticism. Rockets were seen as something only governments could do. Early launches failed 3 times. Each failure brought us close to collapse. People don't talk about how lonely those moments are. Did you face similar criticism?
Yes, but in a different way. Our failures were more social than technical. Privacy issues, misinformation, trust. You can fix a rocket with engineering. Fixing social impact is harder. How did you handle the fear of failure?